Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography, where old friends and fans come together to BS, argue, occasionally agree, and discuss a musical artist. Some upcoming artists we are covering are The Misfits, My Chemical Romance, and our 100th episode with Nirvana. If those interest you, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Today's artist, though, is the Smashing Pumpkins. We will be ranking 12 studio albums. Speaking of Smashing Pumpkins and Billy Corgan, Stephen King, Billy Summers, where you at? Give us that retweet.
Billy.
You still haven't told me if you like that dog yet or not on Twitter. I need to know. With me today, he only comes out at night. Tim.
What's happening?
You can stand inside of his love.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, you should. That would be fun. That'd be good.
Yeah, and he's a tarantula. That's Jason.
Oh, all right, I like it.
Yeah, that's a good song. It's a good song. All right, so it's the last time I'm going to explain this on this show. If you don't know, then you just got to go watch a previous episode. But we are changing the way we do our formula. The rules are simple. First, a short discussion of our relationship with the artist. Then we'll mark our list with must-hear albums. Proceed with caution and trash. Yep.
Jesus.
I think your dog did that last time I said trash. On the Rage video.
Dog knows trash when he hears it.
Yeah. Then we will start at the beginning of the discography, discuss the album, and put it in our respective places and move on to the next album. Any discography that has 7 albums, like this one, or over, the top 3 albums will be a surprise at the end, and we will have one more roundtable defending our top 3 choices. So, with that, well, before we do the color code, I just want to say, Tim, shout out to Tim, who listened to 12 albums from a band that he has said multiple times on this show that he hates. I know some YouTube reviewers that if one person doesn't like the artist, they'll just bow out for the week. Not here at ODD. We tell it like it is, good or bad. We ain't afraid to listen to music. So, with that...
Send all your hate mail to me.
Yeah. At Tim in the comments below by the end of this. Who wants to start with their relationship? I guess I could. Mine's pretty simple. It started with, the singles, Siamese Dream, album, Cycle, went back, heard Gish, got Mellon Collie, got off the train at a door, curious about Machina. I've checked them out here and there through the years, but this is my first time hearing everything from Monuments up. So that was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun.
I first found them when I was in 9th grade. A friend of mine gave me the current album at that time, Siamese Dream, and said, "Hey, check this out." And I went home and I hated it, and so I never bothered with anything else. And then the album after that, the Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness, which is a diamond album. I'm not one of those 10 million though. And yeah, I don't know. Some of those singles irk me really badly. And I don't think I heard anything else after that. Other than, being inundated by it on the radio over and over and over again for 30 years.
Yeah, because, everything after that was not probably going to be on the radio anyway. So that's
no. And it will.
When I was telling my mom we were doing the Pumpkins, she's like, they still put out things. I still hear them on the radio, but it's that song about the smile. I used to be a little boy.
Disarm.
And she's like in the vampire song. So
and Tonight and 1979.
Yeah, 1979 was the biggest, I think, actually. Hilarious.
I think officially that is their biggest song.
Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because as popular as they seem to us, on the radio they weren't. On the radio they were not as popular, honestly.
Nope.
I was more of an MTV guy than a radio guy.
Me too.
I remember the videos. I'll talk about that when we get to
That's when I would check out VH1.
and hear Richard Marx or Richard Farts, as I used to call him.
Well, some things are best not heard. Is all.
Oh, my
Remember,
feelings.
10 in the comments below. All right, so Will, what about you?
That's a big question. I'm just going to be short with it, because I feel like most of it will come out when we review the actual records. But I think I first saw the band on 120 Minutes with a video for Rhinoceros, and I liked it, but I didn't. I was like 9 or maybe 10 when that came out, so I didn't think too much about it. But when Siamese Dream came out, I saw the video for Cherub Rock, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm into this. This is pretty rocking. And then like one of my cousins from St. Louis, like we were out on Thanksgiving, and she was really into that. And she was a cool older like alternative girl or whatever at the time, and I was like, all right, that's awesome. So I went head on into Siamese Dream after that. And then I went back and heard the Lull EP, and then I went to Gish, and I've been a fan ever since, except for the past, I don't know, decade or so, which hasn't been that kind to me, unfortunately. But other than that, love them.
All right.
Cool.
Jason.
Yeah, I had the high school girlfriend that was obsessed with the Pumpkins too. All right. Well, with that, I guess we'll mark our colors. I know mine. Let me get this right.
Oh, the colors? Yeah, I got mine.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
I'm going to say these two are trash. These two are proceed with caution. Oops. And the rest are green.
All right. Oh, I've got to find a better way to categorize this stuff on my notes. Let me see.
I mean, I could go while you're figuring it out.
Please do, because I'm really distracted.
I started, hold on, without spoiling anything, I started color coding my list here.
Ooh, very nice. So 12 through 9 for me are going to be red. And the rest are going to be yellow.
Wow. Wow. All right. This is going to be fun. Jeez Louise.
I apologize if my washing machine is being a little loud.
I can't hear it over the gas.
It's okay. I was drying clothes earlier, so I'm just glad the buzzer isn't going right now. So it'll be
all right, Colquitt, you got yours figured out?
Yeah. 1 through 6 are green. See 7, 8, 9, and 10 will be yellow, and then 11 and 12 will be red.
Hold on. Which ones were yellow?
7 through 10. So 7, 8, 9, 10 will be yellow.
All right, that's.
I told you
I got more green than you. That's weird.
Well, I was being hypercritical because this is one of my favorite bands of all time. So I have to pretend to be objective in a way. You know what I mean? I might be full of shit, but I'm trying to be objective at least. Yeah. I'll probably still talk very positively about all of the yellow. I'm just saying. I'll even be positive about the red ones, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my yellows aren't going to be the same as yours. So
we'll see. I don't know. This could be interesting. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see where this goes.
All right, so we're going to start from the beginning, and we're going to start with Gish. I'm not talking about it yet because it's in my top 3.
It's in my top 3 as well.
I will give biographical information for it, though. It was they worked weekend jobs and traveled to go record it. There's a hard psychedelic vibe to it because it's apparently Billy was taking acid like literally every day at this point in time. So it's got a very Jane's Addiction feel, but also like kind of a soul of Jimi Hendrix going on with it. It's kind of fun. I will say that I love the B-sides collection, Pisces Iscariot, more than this record. But we'll get to that in the next record, I guess, too. It's my number 5. If it's in anybody else, is it both of your top threes? Really?
It's in my top 3 as well. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But it's my number 5. Yeah. So I guess we'll move on to the next one then. We'll come back to that later.
All right. Well, the next up is a biggie, Siamese Dream. I'm just gonna sit back again.
Same. Also in my top 3.
Wow. I'm putting in a number 4. I guess I got to be the weird guy. All right, so
well, you're gonna know better than us. So
this is no, not necessarily. This is all like my feelings about the top 5 are basically just biographical at that point. Like I love them all equally, so I have to put them just differently.
Sure, no, that makes sense. They're all green.
So after Gish, the record label wanted a lot of money because they saw success, but they weren't seeing it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Jimmy was really bad into heroin, the drummer. So they went to Athens, Georgia to record with Butch Vig. Butch Vig also did Gish, but on this one, he had some more, I guess, clout because Nevermind came out before this. So he was a known name at this point. So he got to go really absolutely insane with Billy and just try to produce the best sounding record they could. James and Darcy, however, were breaking up. They were romantically inclined before the recording of this. So they weren't very concerned about the recording. So that is Billy's reasoning for recording everything. So it's basically a Billy Corgan and Jimmy Chamberlain record. There's not a lot on here that features the other members. I think James did do the intro and outro guitar parts to Mayonnaise. He did write those and perform them on the record. But as far as I know, that's all I know. But also, I would also say, I don't think James and Darcy have really argued that that wasn't true. So it might just be the fact of the matter, unfortunately. Beyond that, I love every song on this record very much. I think it sounds like they're writing classic rock songs, but under the Instagram filter of My Bloody Valentine and Shoegaze. There's just a lot of really cool sonically things going on here. But the only reason why I'm putting it number 4 is because there are 3 other records that mean more to me on a personal basis. Other than that, this record's fucking classic, start to beginning, or start to end. Sorry, whiskey.
No, I'll agree. Start to beginning.
Yeah, it's good from start to the end. Sorry, Tim.
No, you're good. You're good.
I know I'm good. Anyway, that's what I got. So number 5 for me, or 4. Number 4 for me.
All right.
We're scooting on down, man.
Yeah.
Now we got Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness. Again, I'm just going to sit back here.
I have to sit back here.
I'm going number 8.
All right. Old move, Cotton. I like
it's
it made into his yellow at least.
That is
the bottom
fair.
of the yellow, but
that is
and the reason I'm gonna give it yellow, is because I feel like the high points on this album are probably the high points of their career. I've got a number of top song contenders from here.
Wait. And that puts it at 8.
Because the rest of it is really not good. There's a lot.
What are the high points on the record then? Because we're obviously going to get to it later. But what were your high points? Well,
yeah, I think we're going to get to it later. But I think there was 5 singles from this album, and I'll say that 2
technically
of them
6 on radio, but yes, 5.
Okay.
Videos.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Well, of the 5 that I would have known going into this, 2 of them I like.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them I think are possibly the worst song of the 1990s.
I think I agree with you on one of those, though. So I don't know. We'll find out.
Maybe. So yeah, there are some points where it's like, okay, no, this is a decent song that I can listen to and I can find things about it to like. But with the majority of this discography, and I have no sentimental value attached to this album at all. This was actually the first time I've actually listened to the whole thing.
That's fair.
Ever.
It's a big record.
It's a big record, and you feel it. And it's there's a
All right. I guess my question is like, why would you say it is worth checking out as opposed to never checking out if it's number 8? Like it's very
well, I do think that it is diamond status, and so there's got to be something there that maybe I'm missing.
Okay.
So at the very least, check it out and think for yourself. But I personally do not like this album.
Okay, cool. Right.
But there's a handful of songs. I think that if you had whittled this down to a single album, you could probably get a good side out of it.
See, I want to agree with you, but there's other records that they put out later that I'm like, I really wish those would have been single records. This one's fine.
You know, and that's why this is number 8.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm really curious to see what you rank above it. That's all. That's
okay.
Beautiful.
Well, okay. I had a couple of game surprises that I thought were interesting. Not a fan of that album. Sorry, guys.
It's okay, man. It's
sorry.
I love it.
Like, subscribe, so you can see part 2 when we get to this album way later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus. It's gonna be a long night.
Well.
So what's next?
Which brings us to a door.
Oh, it's a door time. That's in my top 3. I apologize. So you guys go to town, my friends.
It's my number 4.
I know what's coming, guys. It's okay. I fully understand why. I just fucking agree all the way. No matter what you're gonna say, I'm gonna disagree with it. So y'all go to town.
It's my number 4.
Damn. Okay. Damn. All right. Never mind. All right. That's a good ranking. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. It's interesting. Obviously, they're going a little electronic here. It sounds very 1998 to me. But I feel like they were doing it in somewhat of an interesting way. Again, there's some songs on here that I really could do without. But overall, as a whole piece of music, I felt like this was pretty cohesive. And at the very least, again, listen to it and, make your own opinion.
I made my own opinion.
It's the last one. It's number 12.
Horrible opening track. It's boring. Ava Adore hated this song when it came out, but it's grown on me over the years. The We Must Never Fall Apart or Never Be Apart section is still smooth as fuck. Perfect's really good. Daphne Descends, meh. I did like Once Upon a Time. The album does sound really good production-wise. It sounds very 1998. Anna from That Dog's Brother played some drums on this album. I think Chris Rowe from the Ataris took inspiration from this album when he did Welcome the Night.
Wait, what? Hold on. All right. Wait, what Atari's record is this?
Check out that episode.
Welcome the Night. The album after Song of Story that's like a complete departure from everything he did before.
Yeah.
Very slow and emo.
And also very radio friendly.
Yeah.
It's a unit shifter.
Yeah. Hated Crestfallen. I do like the melody of Apples. Pug sucked. The Tale of Dusty and Pistol Pete is the best song on this album. Great music, great lyrics, so good. Annie Dog was fine. Shame that song was 6 minutes too long. Horrible shit. Behold, amazing lyrics, but the music, no. Last tracks peter out and are boring. 17 is pointless. This album never really takes off. It's not what I wanted in a Pumpkins album in 1998, and it's not what I wanted in a Pumpkins album in 2023.
I mean, I'm going to argue that it was what I needed in 1998, but yeah, that's okay.
I put it in number 9.
I mean, that's kind of what I expected.
It was my number.
I'm actually
4.
shocked that Tim had it at 4. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. I mean,
that might be a hot take. I know a lot of people like Adore, but
and really, 8 through 4 could probably like flip flop for me. They're all kind of.
Why don't you pull a mulligan right now and flip Mellon Collie with Adore?
No,
I don't know. I think Tim's argument is fair for that, honestly, because it is Adore is certainly a more cohesive collection of songs than Mellon Collie, which is like fucking hitting random on the jukebox or whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
mean,
that.
really.
See, your dog agrees with me.
Notes here for Adore. No, the notes for Adore got washed away in the rain earlier today, unfortunately. But
I mean, I will say Adore is probably one of their more cohesive albums, especially when you start getting into some other later things that we'll get into.
There's some later things that are just.
It is a single piece of music on its own, which is
it's really a bummer. Like the format doesn't fit this band as much as it does other bands, I think, because really the longer we go, the worse it's gonna get. I have a feeling.
Not for me. I still
I've
got
a couple surprises coming your way.
No, I know one. I know one's a surprise, but
I got
it was
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But a couple of these is going to be just a lot of hate, I think. So, anyway, what we got? We moving to Machina now?
We're moving to Machina.
Oh, well, I can't say anything.
I can.
Oh, I can.
Oh, you guys go to town, friends.
I love Everlasting and Gaze. Raindrops is fine. Stand Inside Your Love is a really good Desmond Child song. I had to throw that out there from the conversation Tim and I had. It's great. Don't like all Eye of the Morning. The radio sections are dumb, but the guitar solo and the rest is great. I think Sacred and Profane would have made a great single, much better than Try Try Try. Heavy Metal Machine, fuck yeah. Dumbass lyrics, but I love the music. Glimpses of old pumpkins all through this one. This time is good. Back half isn't as memorable. I usually jump to something else about halfway through the album, but it's miles above Adore, but not as good as what came before that. I bought this day of when it came out because the singles.
You sold it to me. You sold it to me. I came to CD Warehouse and you sold it to me on the day it came out. I remember.
Yeah, of course you picked it up. You were like one of the only people, I think.
Yeah, you were like, actually, I walked in, you were like, I think you're here for this. And you just pulled it out from behind and handed it to me. It's absolutely what happened. It was beautiful.
Hashtag who remembers CD Warehouse.
Yeah. But, I mean, overall, like this, it's my number 4.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Like,
we're gonna blow Will's mind tonight. Or
no, because like honestly, both having from a mainstream or not a Pumpkins fan kind of viewpoint, like not even like as not a fan, but it's just like not a hardcore kid. Adore and Machina are the hardcore kids. We love those records. So the fact that they're even in your top 4, magical to me. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like because during Adore they were putting out music or songs for films. Like there was
yeah, I and The End is the Beginning is the End came in between Mellon Collie and Adore, both of those songs. Yeah, I was on Lost Highway soundtrack. End is the Beginning of the End was on the Batman Forever soundtrack, I think, or maybe Batman and Robin. I'm not sure. One of those fucking movies.
The one with Kiss from a Rose, right?
One of those.
No, that was the one before it. That was the one with there was another song. I think U2 Kiss Me, Thrill Me, or whatever was on that.
Right.
As well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But to me, like those songs, going from
really good. I agree.
Those songs to Machina is like a natural progression almost. What I expected them to sound like.
I think that might have been the disappointment in Adore for a lot of people too, because both of those songs came out before Adore. And when Adore came out, people were like, well, where's that sound you guys had on those other 2 songs? Because they're not really, I guess with it's a little bit on Adore more so than Machina, but The End is the Beginning is definitely very Machina sounding for sure.
Yeah, this is a fine, like this is a must-hear Pumpkins album for me. Easily.
Faux show.
Well, speaking of U2, this album really felt like if Trent Reznor had joined Matchbox 20 to me.
I'm gonna let my dog out. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah. No.
I'll keep grimacing. Go ahead.
Yeah, especially for 2000, it felt like really watered down, like industrial.
Yeah, but nobody was doing that at the time.
A lot of people were doing that.
Well, in the midnight, yeah, I think Gravity Kills. Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
And so, yeah, I think that this is an example of Willie P. Core Train jumping on some bandwagons, which he had done previously and does again afterwards as well. But yeah, it did. It felt like an AOR version of The Fragile. And yeah, exactly. You know where I'm going with that. Yeah, so I have it at number 11.
I'm trying to remember if that came out before Fragile or at the same time. Regardless, the U2 comparison fits.
Fragile came out in 99, I believe.
Fragile was 99.
Okay. Atum Baby and a lot of the U2 records were produced by Flood, which he also produced Mellon Collie and Machina. So that connection exists.
Okay.
I mean, 11. Go for it. It's fine.
Well, then that brings up a question. I've got so many questions like throughout this. Like,
well, I mean, I can do the bio part of this record for you if you need more background information about it.
I don't need any more background information.
Okay.
What I need to know is, by all accounts, it feels like Willie P is a bit of a control freak, and so I'm wondering how susceptible he is to producers and their opinions, especially when they're like, hot producers who have a lot of hits behind them. I will say this: everything after this record was produced. Other than Zeitgeist had a Roy Thomas Baker credit, which is an interesting credit to have.
Yeah, he's not involved with most of the record. He's just on there a couple of tracks, but he's there enough.
Mm-hmm. Well, and doesn't Ruben do one after this too?
I honestly don't remember.
I think he did probably Ruben might have done Zeitgeist.
No, he did his he did he did a couple of tracks on The Door that didn't get released. He did Let Me Give the World to You, which was a Machina II track. But it originally appeared on The Door, and it was a Rick Rubin acoustic song.
Okay.
And I think he produced his solo record or two. I think he produced Oglala or whatever William Patrick Corgan records there are. I think he produced a couple of those. I don't think he did a lot with the Pumpkins other than Let Me Give the World to You, because I think I would have remembered that, I think.
Well, that does bring up another question I have, speaking of solo albums.
Okay.
And it's a two-parter, not to go too far off the rails.
That's a very common question, I would say, about solo albums with this band.
Well, because technically he's like you said on Siamese Dream, if it's just him and Jimmy Chamberlain, what's the difference, right?
Well, on Mellon Collie, it was a full band. They recorded most of Mellon Collie live in the studio as a full band, and they did overdubs on top of that. That's why it sounds rawer to a degree. Machina, Darcy quit the band in the tour leading up to Machina. So it is just James, Billy, and Jimmy in the studio with Flood, just trying to make the coolest sounds they can think of. And they knew at that point that they were breaking up anyway. So I think they were just kind of like, let's just do whatever the fuck we want to do on this record.
Well, and then I heard a story that the day that the William Patrick Corgan solo album came out was the same day that he put a thing in the paper trying to reform the Smashing Pumpkins.
That was The Future Embrace. It was his first solo record. It was more electronic than anything. It was even more electronic than some of their later records.
So he knew it wasn't going to sell.
Well, I think he saw the response and just gave up. But also in between that, he did a record with...
Same day it was released?
No, I think he just, him and Jimmy have a very special kind of musical relationship.
Sure.
And I feel like if you're not working with that person, it's going to show. There's a couple records after this that Jimmy's not on. Ador's not one. He's not on Adore. That is the best record they did without Jimmy, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think Monuments was without Jimmy. I think Tommy Lee actually was playing drums in the studio for him on that record. Yep. And Oceania is not with Jimmy either, even though the guy they got is as close of an approximation you can get for Jimmy Chamberlain.
Okay. Well, I'll have questions about those albums when we get to them.
Yeah, we'll get there for sure. But this one, I think they knew they were breaking up. There's a lot going on. It was Jimmy's return, so they wanted to make something more kinetic and lively, I suppose, sonically. And of course, yeah, the Atum Baby references, I can understand, I do, but I also think the world of this record. So we'll get there.
Cool. No worries. No worries.
Right.
The Machina II, where we at? Y'all got that in the top 3?
No.
Me neither.
So we can all talk about this
one. Well, I thought it was better than Machina 1.
Okay.
I felt like the first probably like 4 or 5 songs showed real promise and grit, and like they were energetic, which is something I hadn't heard, in a couple albums.
It was like if there was an Everlasting Gaze EP, all of those songs would have been B-sides to it to a degree.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it has the same vibe sonically. It's like cyber metal and thrash mixed together, but with some jazz.
Well, I didn't pick up either of those.
I'll do you one better. I think if they took half of Machina 2 and half of Machina 1 and made one album, it would have been my top 3. Yeah,
I will agree with you there.
Because it is a tragedy that this album didn't officially come out.
Yeah, and I don't know, like the problem, just to go back to it, like when it came out, it was at the infancy of the internet in a way. Like people are still using AOL, but you can go to the World Wide Web through it and stuff. Like the internet existed, and so they sent out the records to, I think Q101 was the Chicago radio station. A couple random like hardcore fans that they knew would be able to do something with. And there's been like 5 different rips of these vinyls that were just test vinyls that they mailed off to these people. And so the mixing has never been proper, ever. The Greatest Hits record has Rotten Apples on it. And Rotten Apples has Lucky 13, which I think is on the EP section. I don't think it's on, is it on the, no, it's on the EPs. So they also came out. All right. So when this came out, they dropped the LP, which is the thing we're reviewing, but they also had 3 separate EPs mixed in, which were considered to be B-sides, which also in the world of the Smashing Pumpkins means that they're actually better than the album tracks anyway. And that tends to be the case with this band. So there's multiple rips, there's multiple things, but there's been, I think, 3 or 4 tracks from this era that have been properly produced. Real Love, which is, I think, the closing track, of the LP. Lucky 13.
I think
we've got Atom Bomb.
Huh?
Real Love's number 4 on here.
Okay, well, yeah, whatever. It's the closing track on the Greatest Hits is what I'm confusing it with. I apologize. But Real Love sounds great. Sounds beautiful on the actual mixed version. It's a lot of this record is just too fuzzy. It's too fuzzy. There's too much fuzz.
Well, I do like the fuzz. I do,
and that's a proof. Like Real Love still has the fuzz, but it sounds good in your ears. It's better fuzz on the studio mix version. And there's been rumors that there's going to be a Machina reissue that combines both of the records, still as a double album, but with multiple changes in the track listing. So you'll have Machina songs on the first disc and the second disc, and you have Machina 2 songs. First disc and the second disc. Like they're fucking everything up and making it tell the story it was supposed to tell, which is bullshit. The story's bullshit. Sorry, Billy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm really waiting for that. And I feel like once I hear both of those put together like that, hopefully it will make the entire whole make more sense and be better, in my opinion. But yeah,
there's some bangers on here. White Spider.
Yeah.
Cash Car Star.
Yeah. Dude, there's video. They played Cash Car Star on the Leno show, which is weird. They did a weird rush of promotion, even though they gave away the record for free, and appeared on a bunch of places and played songs. And they played Cash Car Star on Leno, and it was bizarre.
I think if you took the 2 albums and like got rid of some of the fillers, some of the back halves of some of them, and made one album, it would be phenomenal.
Yeah,
this is some of Billy's best, the Corgans, the Smashing Pumpkins' best stuff.
It's okay. Other than Go on this record, It's all Billy Corgan. Go's the James Eha original. It's a good jam.
No, I mean, there's Glass kicks ass.
See, what's funny is that I feel like this record tells the story he was meaning to tell better than the actual studio record that came out. Because Glass is the main character of the narrative or whatever. He's the Ziggy Stardust or whatever of this record. And it's just, I'll be by the pool playing with my guns. That's a hilarious lyric. Like, there's a sense of humor to this one that you don't necessarily get in other records. And like Dross, say it's in the cards, you all know I'm full of shit. Like, there's so many great lyrics on this one that don't appear, and they're more self-effacing and deprecating and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. I just appreciate it.
Is like sludgy and
yeah, man,
good.
And I think the version of Blue Skies Bring Tears on here is really good. It also appears on the Machina I record, but just as a sad goth song instead of this upbeat kind of like just thrashy kind of jam. God, what else to say about this record? God damn it. I'm sorry.
Let my dog.
Les Deux Machina sucks. If There's a God sucks. Not a fan of those songs. If There's a God, like the closest thing he's ever tried to do to be Ziggy Stardust, and it's just kind of embarrassing and cringy. I don't know, man. But
yeah,
Innocence is so good. Home is so good. In My Body is really good. White Spider is just shred-tastic. Like, I don't know, man. It's a good record.
It's my number 5.
Okay. It's my number 6.
It's my number 9.
No, I'm sorry. It's my number 7. I apologize. It's my number 7. It's a yellow. I put a yellow because the production is so hit or miss. Like, if you like that sound, you'll love it. But if you don't like that sound, you're not going to appreciate it as much as you should. So
yeah,
until
I
it was
like
released,
the sound.
Yeah, like I said, man. Like
I'd love a cleaned up, professional studio.
I would love that too. I think if that were the case.
All right. Well, we're moving
right along.
Moving right along here. And up next is Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist.
I can talk about
this. Is anybody's top 3?
Yes.
Really? Oh my God, Tim, I love you so much.
Can I see the map again? Can I see the map again? I think I got flipped around, but yeah, it's in my top 3. It'll be in my top 3.
Word. Well, background information. So after the aforementioned by Tim, the entire page ad saying that Billy Corgan wants his band back, Jimmy showed up. So he got who mattered in his band to him, I suppose, because he replaced everybody else. But it's Billy and Jimmy. They recorded it themselves, much like Siamese Dream. This one they were more open about that and not coy and embarrassed by it, I suppose. They were all right. They're hitting their 40s. I think Billy Corgan turned 40 when this record came out. So actually, it's a weird thing in the Pisces Iscariot liner notes. The very end, it says 2007, and people always wondered what the fuck that was about. And most people figured out that that was when he was turning 40 and he would no longer be allowed to rock. But then the band released a new record in 2007 when he turned 40. So that was kind of viewed by the dumbasses that, he's, I don't know how to explain it. It's like people who think Trump's playing 4D chess kind of bullshit. But yeah, so it's the return for the band in a way. They got the really cool guy who did the Obama Hope image and whose name is escaping me. And he did the Sage Francis album cover too. What's his name? Guys?
Fairley.
I can't remember his name.
Yes,
Shepard Fairley.
He did the album art for this, so he's got that going for it. At the time, I hated it. I think Baroness's Red album first came out around this time, and that really took my attention more so. A lot of music happening at this point, like, was really taking prominence as opposed to this band who I thought broke up in 2001. So when it came out, I was kind of disappointed with it. But having going back to it and listening to it for this review, I think it's a pretty damn good record. I think some of the production choices are weird, but that's mainly just because I'm a fan and I heard some of like Forgotten Country, the penultimate track on this record, was played acoustic, and it sounded more like an old Pumpkin song when they performed it that way. And then I heard the Roy Thomas Baker bass all the way up, and it pissed me off the first time I heard it. But to be fair, it's pretty bomping, man. Like, I really like this whole record. Everything on it's pretty good. Pomp and Circumstances still bothers me. It's the worst closer I think they've ever done. I didn't like Stars originally. Now I think it's kind of fun and glam and kind of badass. Bleeding the Orchid, which is a tribute to Lane Staley, apparently, of Alice in Chains. Didn't care for it back then. Love it now. I think it's a good song. Tarantula has some of the coolest guitar work I've ever heard. That's the Way My Love Is gets stuck in my head like a good pop song should. And I don't know, man. It's better than I thought. It's one of those also things where it came out in 2007 where there were a bunch of records. They released 3 different versions through 3 different retailers with 3 different bonus tracks, and that was just kind of the way things went. But there's 4 bonus tracks altogether, and they're all really good, and they fit the record really well. It's a shame it's not on this particular version of it, but good record. I ranked it at number 6.
I've got it. I know to say, the Double Dragon album, Billy and Jimmy.
Dude, holy shit. That's beautiful. Man, never thought about that.
I love Doomsday Clock, the delivery in the chorus. 7 Shades of Black. Sounds like it should have been the natural step in progression. Mellon Collie. Same with That's the Way My Love Is. Bleeding is the perfect like mid-tempo 3rd track. Overall, this is a decently fine Pumpkins album. Tarantula rocks, great drums and guitar solo. Love United States. This album has a lot of highs on it. The songs I mentioned, plus Come On, Let's Go. But some really low lows too. Pomp and Circumstances, horrible. Never Lost is meh. I'm placing it here because it does have some Pumpkin songs on it. I don't mind hearing occasionally, but overall, not an album I ever really go back to as a whole. And it is number 8.
Word. I will say I probably will go back to it now. And just to end it before we hear Tim's opinion later, it's going to be great. United States, that drum track was done on 1 take. That is fucking amazing. Like, that's an amazing drum song.
I was looking up. It must have been Machina II because trying to find that album is a pain in the ass. But
yeah, it was
on YouTube, and I saw like a documentary of the making of this album, and it was really interesting. Like seeing Billy and Jimmy do their thing in the little house. Like, I think it's a fine album that people. You're gonna listen to the Pumpkins, you should at least check this one out.
Yeah, especially. I mean, there's a weird bend now due to the last 2 records where they've actually got more younger fans, like young fans that appreciate those records.
There's a Facebook group for that, for Smashing Pumpkins fans born after like 1995 or something.
Yeah, I would stay the fuck out of there personally, but they really love those. They love the last 2 records they put out, and good for them for the band for having longevity through the years. Because this record, if you want to listen to a rock band make a rock record, this is a great rock record, I would say.
Yeah. And again, it's like another cohesive.
Yeah, no, and also like a lot of the lyrics are very, very prescient and seem to fit with the modern moment. And it's weird the names of the album is Zeitgeist, but it was more Zeitgeist of 2023 than 2007, I would say. Because I mean, sure, everything. This has been the worst year ever, weather-wise, summer-wise. Like that album cover might not be too far off the fucking mark.
Yeah, it's been a little warm here.
It's very hot.
So I guess we need to cut to a commercial. We made it.
Yeah. Can we just put a clip of something from Homer Palooza, the Simpsons episode? The best is going to be Billy Corgan going, "Hi, I'm Billy Corgan, Smashing Pumpkins," and Homer going, "Hi, I'm Homer Simpson, smiling politely."
Bark, bark. Uh-oh, chores. The toy chest. The closet. Safe at last. Oh no, it's locked. I'm trapped in here, trapped like a rat. Help! Help!
Bart!
Uh-oh, Dad'll hear me. Help! Help!
Welcome back. Hopefully we didn't get copyright struck and you could saw that very hilarious clip of The Simpsons. If not, it'll be like Honey Nut Cheerios or something. All right, up next we have Oceania.
I mean, I'm
Not
assuming
in
this
my
is
top
nobody's top three.
No.
I think the top three have been established at this point,
Yeah,
right?
probably.
I think
yeah.
so, yeah. So this is another Pumpkins album that I loved when it came out.
Yeah.
But I just never really went back to it. Like, it didn't have that staying power for me. Rocking ass opening track. And I love Panopticon.
Panopticon.
I love the there's a world that stares out at me and all I refuse to please. The Celestials is fine. The highs is Kuzar, Panopticon, Glissandra, Inkless, and the Chimera. The lows, One Dime and One Heart, Violet Rays, Wildflower. The rest is not great, but not offensive. I put this one over Zeitgeist only because I like the sound of this one more. It sounds more like a normal rock record, closer to the older Pumpkins. But you could really swap the two on any given day. So it's my number 7.
Word. Timothy?
Are you guys familiar with ISIS, the band?
Yeah, see, when I heard Panopticon as a song, I was like, okay.
Well, it doesn't just stop there.
Well, I was just going to say that maybe they heard the band, but nothing on this record sounds like
Nothing
ISIS.
sounds like them, but ISIS had an album called Oceanic.
Oh, you're right.
They also had an album called Celestial.
Yeah.
And they also had an album called Panopticon.
Yeah. I know Panopticon very well.
Shout out to Ipecac Records.
It's a mighty fine coincidence.
There's a lot of coincidences there. But having said that, I felt in this discography, this one wasn't as offensive as others.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
There were some things to enjoy on here, I'm sure. So it's going to be like smack dab in the middle for me at number 6.
Right on.
And check out ISIS, the band.
Yeah, for real.
So, yeah, total
ISIS
math
is an
rock
amazing
on
band.
Ipecac. It's pretty weird, but they're great.
Yeah, Wavering Radiant. Like if you like post rock, but like metal, this is the perfect blend of bands. Like if you like Tool, you should listen to ISIS more than Tool for sure. Like,
well, if you like the weirder Tool stuff,
I've never heard.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, agreed.
We got
for me, gonna put it at number 9. There's a couple tracks I really like. Can you pull up the track listing as soon as you can? Because I didn't write anything about this one. When it came out, I thought it was brilliant just because I hadn't heard anything better at that point. 2012 was a weird year for music, in my opinion. I liked Quasar, and like all right, so on the If All Goes Wrong DVD, which was like part of the residencies, there's a bit they do like 2 weeks in San Francisco at the Fillmore, I think. And that is, this album cover is from San Francisco. It's a monument there in one of the parks. This Quasar, I think, he says, yeah, Tom was one of the guys that this old hippie guy that he kind of jammed with for a while. I want to say he was in Strawberry Alarm Clock, but I'm not 100% certain what band he was in. Famous hippie rock guy, more psychedelic. I think this record was them trying to, Billy trying to go back to Gish and try to feel the psychedelic vibes a little bit more based on his residency in San Francisco. So there's a lot of like Quasar is like, got the weird Hindu alms and stuff going on. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. It's fun. It's a nice little prayer song, I guess. The best prayer song I've ever heard, I guess. But some of these tracks are just kind of bland. Celestials is dope. I really like that song. Pin Out of Continent is really good.
This is the beginning of that whole tear glass bullshit, right?
No, this was the end of that, actually. There's he put out 4 EPs before this that were part of that project, and then this was the conclusion of the project.
I think it
was a bad idea, is what it was.
Just
some of those songs on those EPs are really good. Some of the songs on this record are really good, but I would not say cohesively works at all as a giant project, but it's okay. This is the beginning of the shitty arpeggiated synths that will happen on a lot of these records. Although on this one, on Pinwheels, I actually like that song a whole lot. That's a really pretty song. I even like One Diamond, One Heart, because it seems like on every record after this is a song like One Diamond, One Heart on it, except for Sear, which is all of that. The whole record is that. But I think it's a good pop song, man. It's got a little vibe to it. It's fun. I think Pale Horse is one of the most beautiful songs they ever wrote. I think Chimera is some cool guitar stuff just happening. I think Glazandra is kind of like what Machina, where they could have gone after Machina, is that track, that vibe, because it's got a lot of weird effects going on. It's got a different groove to it. Inkless is a really pretty song. Wildflower I could do without. It's just kind of hit or miss. It's my number 9, I think. I think that's where I got it. Yeah, number 9. I mean, it's good. You should check it out. You might like it. I just don't think it's great, but it's not bad in any regard. But again, I could technically have all of these be, even my reds could be yellows, to be honest. Just depending on where you're coming from, I guess.
Yeah, my yellows could be red.
Yeah. Well, you don't have any greens, Tim, so I think that's fair.
Well, yeah, I could. I mean, and if you want that argument, I'll give it to you. Like, obviously, there's a yeah. I didn't think so.
I've heard it enough throughout my life as a fan. Honestly, it's fine.
Instead, we're not going on the defense. We're going to go on the offense when we get to our top 3.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fine.
We still have a lot of red to fill, guys.
Yeah,
I think our next record might put it on there, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out.
I'm debating that choice now that I'm looking at my notes.
Yeah.
So I guess next we got to talk about this one, Monuments to an Elegy.
See, on this record, Run to Me is the One Diamond, One Heart of this record, and it is not good at all. There's nothing good about that song. It is bad. It's bad.
You know what my notes say for Run to Me? Run to Me can fuck off.
It is terrible. Re-listening to this record, though, because I hated it when it came out, I was like, this is garbage. There's some good little, like, it sounds like they're trying to do their best pop record they could do. Having Tommy Lee on the drums is a different choice, but it kind of works because they would definitely sound more like, I don't know, like VH1 with an edge, I guess. I don't know, man. Like, some of these songs are decent. A lot of them are not. A lot of them are bad.
This was the first album that even Oceania, I picked up.
Yeah.
Day of. This was the first one that I was off the train. Opening track is decent. Being Beige is okay eventually. I hated Anise. One and All was pretty damn good. I hate Sim Pop. Run to Me can fuck off. Didn't care for Drum and Fife.
Yeah.
Hated Monuments. Dorian. Antihero is fucking great though. This album is all over the place for me. 3 really good songs. Tiberius, One and All, and Antihero. The rest of it was either meh or god awful.
Yeah.
This is the first one that like just offended me, I guess.
Yeah, same. 100%. What about you, Tim? What do you got to say about it?
Well, it didn't I mean, I find all these albums offensive, but this one didn't offend me as much as others.
Because there's only
Okay,
9
that's
tracks, you bastard. I see.
And that's the reason why I like it better than Mellon Collie and the Infinite Sadness.
Wow.
So I'm putting this at number 7.
You just made some fans. Like, seriously.
Bring it.
People happy.
Bring it.
Some people happy with that.
It's my number 10, but like, I think I'm gonna pull a mulligan on my colors and just say this one's not even worth it.
Oh, I don't. Okay, okay, yeah. You know, honestly, I'll go mulligan on the color too because it's my number 10 as well. And yeah, the one good thing about it is really short. It's over quick. You don't have to sit through a lot of it.
I mean, there were three songs out of 9 that like they're not going to be in my top songs.
I know,
like,
but at the same time, if we were talking about a typical Billy Corgan record, that would be 3 songs out of 40. So, you know, it's
seems to be
beneficial that it's short. Beneficial that it's short.
All right,
that's about where I'm at on par with a lot of these.
Yeah, I know.
And I love it. I'll give Mr. P. Corgan.
Willie P.
credit in being
is what you said. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give him credit for being prolific. Like, that in and of itself gains my respect. But it can't all just be shit.
Well, I'm saying going back to the Lost Green Bay record or the Lost Green Day episode that nobody will ever see. Like, you can be prolific, and I would say Billy Corgan is better than Billy Joe just because Jason, listen, let me argue. I would say he's better because his breadth of songwriting is more expansive than Billy Joe's. Billy Joe kind of just does the same thing a lot.
Well, I'll give that to you, but I'll also argue that Mr. Corgan does the same thing a lot over and over and over.
Okay, fuck you too. All right, that's fair. I can't argue with you.
I'll say if Billy Joe does something, he does it
good,
well.
Though. I see you.
He could do it over and over again. That's fine. Billy Corgan can do something horrible and then
he does that a lot over and over again too. Yes, the bad points are repeated, whereas the good points are only repeated with Green Day. So yes,
I'll say this: I'll listen to
fair.
Father of All Motherfuckers before I'll listen to Monuments to an Elegy again.
Me too. No, and I'm a Pumpkins fan. I agree. About that, about all the Reds, actually.
I would probably put Father like, I'd probably listen to the top 2 here over that one, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't put Father over Mellon Collie, but that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's only, 25 minutes or whatever? Like, yeah, give it to me.
It's short. All right, let's move on to something. Let's get a little let's look for the shiny and the bright here.
Yeah, man. Obviously not a number top 3 for anybody here. But I honestly hated Monument so much that I didn't listen to this record. This was the first Pumpkins record that I didn't listen to until this particular moment. And it's really fucking good. Like, I was really kind of shocked. Like, Knights of Malta openers kind of, hey, I've heard the Rolling Stones too, Billy. Fuck you. That's not a good song. Silvery Sometimes, though, good little like pop rock jam, man. Like Very the Cars, but with an edge. I thought Solara was like the closest thing to a heavy song they'd done in a really long time, and I enjoyed it. Some of it's kind of weak, yeah, but overall, man, it's short, it's sweet, it's better than I thought it was going to fucking be. It was pretty rad. I put it at number 8. I mean, it's good. I might rank it above. No, I won't. I'm not going to rank it above any of those other records. What am I talking about? 8's the perfect spot for that record.
So how I take my notes is I'll go to Spotify, I'll put my headphones on, and I'll bring up my Word document, and I listen and I type. And I went into this album, especially after, because I went in order.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just going to be, we're on the down train now. And this first song started, My notes say, what the fuck is this first track? Billy trying to be a woo girl. Ooh, woo, 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 woo. Horrible opening track.
This is terrible.
Okay. Silvery Sometimes is really fucking good. Kind of reminds me of 1979. Like, holy shit, was not expecting this one. Hell Travels is really good too. Oh, damn, Solera is badass as well. This one jumping up the list. This feels more like a straight up Pumpkins rock album. Alienation a little weak, but not offensive like most of Monuments. I loved Marching On, some classic Billy lyrics, because if you're still my witness, body and soul, because if you're still my sickness, body and soul. With sympathy is really fucking good as well. Pretty damn consistent album here. Seek and You Shall Destroy is a great closer. It's not a normal Pumpkin sounding song melody wise, but it just works. Overall, I really like this album. I was shocked after making it through it. Horrible album title though.
Well, there's more. I want Tim to talk first, but I've got more to add about the title for you. So go ahead.
This one is my number 6.
Nice.
I will put it over these two. Like, this was pretty cohesive, like, good album.
First back with Jimmy and James since Machina.
That might have something to do with it.
Yeah.
Get Darcy in there and you might have something.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
No.
Don Henley puts this album at number 12.
Who
gives a shit about Don Henley?
Well, Tim does because it's number 12 for Tim.
Man, this did. It just reminded me of you remember like the mid to late 80s when Don Henley had like a somewhat successful solo career?
It's more Cars than Don Henley,
Yeah,
buddy.
man.
Come
Don
on.
Henley didn't put out anything like Silver.
Well, no, I think
It's more Weezer than Don Henley, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I think there's an album coming up that's a little more Cars than this one, even.
More Gary Newman.
Oh, looking at Tim's list.
Well, that's
man.
just nitpicking, really. There,
Dude, the Cars were a guitar band. Gary Newman was a synth band.
But they're both new wave.
Well, yeah, but that's very much kind of like saying they're both grunge too.
We got to do the Cars. We got to do the Cars.
I
do have to do the Cars.
Cars are great.
All right,
yeah,
sorry,
no, I got nothing to say. This album bored the shit out of me.
Did you listen chronologically?
No, I didn't actually. I found with a previous discography that I was not looking forward to that it really worked for me if I jumped around. And so I tried that with this one again. This was actually one of the first ones I listened to.
Oh, well. Yeah, okay. That works against it both ways, honestly.
Yeah,
like, chronologically it would suck. This is one of the first ones that would suck. Yeah.
It does. It's just there have been previous episodes where, like, if I'm on the fence with something, I'll say maybe I'll revisit it if I have the time or whatever. I'm not revisiting this.
It's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
I would buy the record of this vinyl if I could find it.
I mean, it'll certainly be better than Last Place when we get to the art video. Stay tuned for that. But
that's fair. It is a fun.
But no, musically, I just my notes literally just say boring AOR. And for kids who don't know what AOR is, it stands for Adult Oriented Rock.
Oh, I thought it was album-oriented rock.
Well, that's what it meant in the 70s. And then in the 90s, when bands like Counting Crows and Matchbox 20.
Well, see, everybody was saying Siamese Dream was AOR because it was album-oriented rock.
Right. And then it shifted in the 90s. It became adult. Hootie and the Blowfish.
VH1 rock. VH1 rock.
See, I don't get that with this album. I
don't hear that on this one either. But yeah, I like Monuments. Yeah, that was very VH1 rock to me. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, he did woo-woo in it. Which was the Sign of the Times.
He did.
But
yeah, look, I'm not going to make an argument to listen to any of these albums. But this one, like, there is no argument to listen to.
I'm starting to regret that shout out Tim in the beginning of this episode.
I'm here. I listened to him.
Okay, so one last tip, and I wasn't going to forget about this forever. Shiny is the main character of Atum in the concept.
Well,
God,
that's
I
gonna
cannot
play
wait
in.
to rag on that fucking garbage. But yeah. So this has a connection to Atum, unfortunately, and it is the beginning of it.
Yeah, but
And
I read
actually,
something that like the main character's name was Zero, then it was Glass, and then they changed his name to Shining. Fuck all
yeah,
that shit.
it's all revisionist bullshit. It's nonsense. It is all nonsense.
Yeah.
It is Billy has this really bad habit of like trying to write a story to obfuscate like most of the time like real shit that he's talking about. I don't know where that fits in with this or Atum, but on Machina and the whole Zero character, like that all makes sense. It all fits in a way. These are just bad. It's artifice on top of artifice. It's not worth it. But this record's all right. I don't mind this one. But
I liked it. It's in my green. Like I would recommend this one.
Yeah.
Especially if you haven't heard the Pumpkins since like the Adore days, you know. I would check this.
You should check out Zeitgeist.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard the band since the Pumpkins days, check out Zeitgeist instead.
I don't know. I like this one better than Zeitgeist.
Well, to be fair, it's not like you can go on Spotify and listen to Zeitgeist either. So, you know, that's an issue as well for it.
That's what it was. That's how I got that interview, because I was looking up this fucking album. Because
that's right. That's right.
All right, let's
get further down, I guess.
I'll start this one off
because I have positives to say about this record. I do, but
we'll let you end it on a positive note.
Okay, cool. Y'all go to town, friends.
Color of Love. This is what I was expecting from later Pumpkins. Trash. Music is bad on Confessions of a Dopamine Addict, but Billy's lyrical delivery is fantastic in this one. More synth pop trash. Dulcet and E, meh. Wrath is okay. This album is long and pretty damn bad. Billy should be embarrassed for Tiger Tiger. I can sum up this album perfectly from a quote from Billy Corgan on the album. And I quote, regarding the band's shift to a synth pop sound, Corgan noted, I got sick of making music that people kept telling me didn't sound contemporary. In my mind, I'm a contemporary band. I'm a contemporary artist.
He's not lying, though.
Now, the positive thing here is I frame myself as a progressive musician, so I took that on and thought, okay, I'm going to make contemporary music. I don't care what it takes, I told the band. This is what we're going to do, and everybody said, okay, fine. That tells you everything you need to know about this album. Maybe he meant by contemporary, it was a dumpster fire because it came out in 2020. Fuck this album. It is my number 12.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. All right, man. Well,
okay.
We're all going to have different number 12, so that's fun.
I bet we all have different number ones, too.
I definitely will have a different number one from the rest of you guys.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have different number ones.
I don't hate this record. I just feel like it doesn't need to exist, especially as a double album. You could have really cut this down to one EP and it would have been fine. A double album is way too goddamn much of this Depeche Mode cover band bullshit. I'd rather just listen to Depeche Mode. I'm sorry, Billy. Depeche Mode does it better. I do think The Color of Your Love is a great pop song. I think Anno Satana is actually kind of a good little groove, man. I think it's a good little rock song. Everything else is kind of forgettable or cringy. There's not a lot happening here. And the fact that they give Jimmy a credit for drumming on this record blows my goddamn mind because it's trash. Like, this is the problem. And we're going to get to this with the next one too, I guarantee you. So I'm just going to pull it out of the way right now. The second this band decided to start recording to Pro Tools and to a grid is when this band fell apart. The great part about this band and the early records is that the interplay between Billy and Jimmy, they have a push and pull. They change tempos throughout the song. You can't do that when you're snapped to a fucking grid. And that's why this record and Atum are kind of fucking trash, because there's no rhythmic dynamics. There's no fucking dynamics. It's just bad. It's just not good. It's very like people used to joke that if Radiohead farted into a paper bag, that it would still sell records. This
they
is
said
Billy
about,
Corgan. This is
my
Billy Corgan
Taylor
farting
Swift
into
now.
a paper bag, and you know what? It didn't sell a goddamn record.
I always thought Radiohead farting into a bag would be Coldplay.
Well,
Well,
that's
you're not wrong.
that's a different story, and we'll get to that when we review them, because there's a shared producer between Coldplay and Radiohead.
Okay.
And the first two Coldplay records, yes, I understand. Everything after that are terrible, though. So yeah, it's very much this record is very much Coldplay going pop.
Wait, hold on. You like
That
the
is what
first
this
two
record is. It
Coldplay
sounds
records?
like that. You can forget about it and never listen to it again. You'll be fine.
You like the first two Coldplay records?
I love the first two Coldplay records. No shit. Not even joking, man. Parachutes and Rush of the Blood of the Head. Good fucking albums, man.
We need to do Coldplay.
Well, I don't like Oasis. So, like, there's a give and take here, you know? Like, I like Coldplay. I don't like Oasis. Yeah. There's no argument. Whatever. This record sucks. What do you got to say about it?
Tim, what you got? What were you gonna put this? Is this in your top three? You're not talking about this one?
Number 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah. It's my number 11. Sorry. I should have said that. But God dang, Tim. Surprises aplenty, my friend.
Well, I'm going to agree with everything you guys said about it.
Both of us?
Yeah. The reason I'm going to score higher than some of these other albums.
Then Mellon Collie and Machina. Okay.
Well, this has, a direction, at least. It's not a good direction.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That's fair.
I'm
just shocked.
Yeah. The fact that this band went new wavy and keyboardy and contemporary, if that's what we're going to call it.
Yeah, it sounds retro to me, not contemporary, but
I've got a theory on that. We'll get to it on the next album.
Yeah, I mean, it almost works for this band because I don't know. Are they a grunge band?
No, they were never a grunge band, ever.
So what are they then? Are they just 90s alternative? Like that's a genre?
I would say they were like progressive classic rock in a way. Like, I don't know, because they fit the sound of the 90s because they had big muffled.
They're chasing the sound of the 90s, yeah.
But I think musically they had more in common with Cheap Trick than the Melvins, which I think is a
exactly. Exactly. So, but I was listening to this discography and it reminded me of the Melvins in a way.
Weird.
In that it's super deep and a lot of people are not going to like it. But if you like it, you're going to love it.
Dude, I cannot wait till we do the B-sides. We're going to do a part 2 with the B-sides only. Like Pisces, Aeroplane, and the EPs from Machina II. We can do this. Quick and easy.
Oh, look at that. I just got sick.
I think you might, Tim, like the B-sides more than the studio records, much like I like the B-sides better than the studio records. Seriously.
Yeah.
Well,
if we included Pisces and an Aeroplane on this list,
yeah,
a whole bunch of shit would ship down.
All right, look, for the viewers, if you've gotten this fucking far for some fucking reason, I argued that we should stop at Zeitgeist and include Pisces and Aeroplane and just do the letter records when we wanted to talk shit about things. So I'm really shocked that some of the placements are happening. But like, damn, dude, like, honestly, Aeroplane and Pisces are my 2 favorite records, and one of them's not even a record. Like, fucking hell, man. Like, the B-sides are so good with this band.
I figure we'll probably talk about those 2 a lot more on our top songs video. At least for me.
Well, I'm going to add one. I'm going to add one from the B-sides, but only one. I'm going to try to stick to the records.
Yeah, I've got one too. Let's just go ahead and get this big mother.
Yeah, obviously we've got 11, 10, and 12, I hope.
Out of the way here. Atum.
Like, even the riffy songs, even the guitar riffy songs just sound like they're trying to sound like Metallica, which is weird as fuck. Like, they're boring riffs. They're not good riffs. It's like bad Metallica, not good Metallica, I should add. Like, God damn. Beguiled, it's got a cool little guitar riff going on. Spellbinding pisses me off because the verse is in an off time, but the chorus is in 4, and the chorus is great, but that goddamn I want to fucking murder somebody listening to that shit. There's just not a lot here. Hooray made me audibly laugh out loud while listening to it. It bummed me out. Empires is okay. There's like 4 good tracks out of 33 fucking songs, and this is supposed to be the sequel to Mellon Collie and Machina. Fuck you. This shit sucks. Fuck this record. I'm sorry, it's my number 12. Fuck this record. It's terrible.
Okay, so here's my theory. Shiny is the poor man's Siamese Dream. It's shorter, it's more rocking, it's very cohesive, it's streamlined. Seer,
yeah,
is the poor man's Adore. More electronic, softer. It's pretty far out sound-wise. And this one is the poor man's Mellon Collie. Grandiose and expansive. Dumb instrumental as an opening track. Butterfly Suite was okay.
Hey. The opening track to Mellon Collie and the Vincennes is good.
I'm not talking about whatever that shit is. This. That's a dumbass opening instrumental.
It's bad.
Atum.
Sorry, I have to give Mellon Collie a prop. I apologize.
No. I ain't talking about.
I felt attacked. I felt attacked and I had to defend it.
Sorry, I
didn't have anything to do with the recording.
I went from my comparison straight into my notes to the album. My bad. Butterfly Suite is okay. I did like the lyrics for it. For love and can't's freedom. For love, it makes me one dumb. The Good and Goodbye is pretty good. Nothing new at this point, but it's still a decent song. There's some good stuff here. I like the Gold Mask. It was super poppy, but it worked. Like the melody and words on To the Grays. Empires had some great riffs in it, but I hate the backing vocals. And Lieu of Failure and Harmageddon are fucking great. But there's some bad stuff. That which animates the spirit. Yes, your hero's coming back. And by the official degree, low befall 000.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Was hoping Intergalactic was a Beastie Boys cover. That would have been cool. Instead, it's a
honestly, Intergalactic. At least Intergalactic had like some actual epicness happening. Like it's a suite of different things. Otherwise, it sucks. But at least it's got that going for it.
Fucking fuck. I wanted to hear Intergalactic planetary.
I can't wait till we review the fucking Beastie Boys, my friends. Like, I can't wait for that shit.
Avalanche is fucking horrible. Spellbinding is half and half great, half shitty. This is just way too much pumpkins to absorb at one time. I tried to research the concept and it just lost me. Way too much bullshit. Even though there are some decent tracks, I put this one in red because it's bloated, not consistent. And what is good is not worth waiting through all the bad. For every Empires you get, you have to make it through an Avalanche.
Yeah. You have to listen to Hooray.
Oh, no. So it's my number 11. I would not recommend listening to this crap.
So, Tim, how is this better than both Machina and Shiny? Please let me know.
Hell, it could be like, it's in my top 3.
No, it's not.
Number 1.
You know it's top 3 already.
Well, it's better than those because like you just said, there's so much here that there's bound to be something good.
Oh, see, this is why we should have done Airplane.
Like, I didn't get the concept. I didn't even look into it.
You don't need to.
Well, exactly. You don't need to.
Mm-mm.
But if I was so inclined, maybe I'd identify with it and it'd make perfect sense. There's got to be something here of some value.
I found some good songs.
I mean, that's a good point, Tim, because I will say this for the people that like this band and are still here watching this shit. The young kids, like the kids that are posting about this band on Reddit and shit, it's because of this record.
Well, and here I am as somebody who's been aware of the Smashing Pumpkins for over 30 years. Like, this album came out this year, and this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Yeah. They're not marketing this band well. And I'm like,
market this band.
Well, I'm curious who they're even trying to market to. Like, really, like, this came out in 2023, but it's literally since 1997. Like, what's their target audience here? Like, none of it makes sense.
I'll quit.
And he's already on the train school, but it's almost like they're not trying to get anybody else on the train. Even though they are.
Well, I mean, that's the irony. Like, here's the thing. The reason why the Pumpkins were popular was not because they were trying to do what everybody else was doing. They were always one step to the left of what was happening. By doing guitar solos and album-oriented rock with Siamese Dream at the time of grunge, where that was not cool to do. And it still worked for them. The problem is that what they've been doing for the past decade, in my opinion, is that they have been trying to cater. They had that hit and they're trying to get that feeling again, and they can't get it. And they've been trying to change their sound. Like, the difference between fucking Shiny to Sear to Atum is just random. It's completely random.
Is it though? Because to me, it's like the Siamese Dream to Mellon Collie to Adore. Like,
well, I know.
Just as
I would say I understand that, but I also, just from somebody who has followed this band for forever, like, there's definitely been a bent towards Billy trying to be on the top again. And that's been the goal, not necessarily making good music or good art, but for him to be on the top again.
Yeah. When was he?
And that goes back to even the grunge time. It's just, they had a happy accident where they did the wrong thing and it worked out for them. And now they're trying to do what was hot at the moment, but it doesn't work out for them because they're not doing the wrong thing. If they went back to doing the wrong thing, they'd be fine. But for Gen Z kids, this fits in their fucking like landscape. This fits perfectly for them.
And that's more power to Billy and the Pumpkins for. I mean, I'm glad that if the kids like this crap, I don't know, but if that's true, that's pretty cool. Because if the kids can look at this album the way I and my generation look at Mellon Collie, for example.
They don't, though. They don't look at it that way. These are still the weird kids looking at it and going, I like this. But it's young kids doing it, at least. So they've got like a future, supposedly. But I don't know necessarily that like
a future in 1995 too.
And look where we're at now.
Even though everything after that I like better, but we'll get there.
I do want some backstory on when Sharon Osbourne was the manager of this band.
That was around the time of Zeitgeist, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that was when they signed up with her, and then it didn't do as well as they thought. See, the weird thing about this band is that Billy is so reactive towards each release. So they put out Zeitgeist because nobody liked Adore Machina. So they were like, fine, fuck it. We're going to put out a hard, like just a regular rock record. And it didn't work as well because people were more, media at least, the music reviewing, the critical space, were more concerned about the fact that he put out a full page ad asking for his band to be back. And then he only got one member. So that was all anybody reviewed. They didn't actually write about the fucking record. They mentioned Roy Tom Paper.
There was a little bit of hype around that album cycle, though. A little bit.
Well, yeah, it was the first record for a new label. They had needed to. That's the reason why it's not on streaming right now, because the label's so pissed off about it.
Like, I think literally. That's why a lot of the Machina, I think that's why the Machina didn't do as well, is because of the way it was marketed. And
well, that was them closing out their contract with Virgin. I think Zeitgeist came out on Universal or Warner Brothers. He signed a deal and did Zwan. Zwan didn't work out, so we had to do another Pumpkins record. And that's partially why he put out the ad saying he wanted his band back, because Zwan didn't work for him, which is ironic because Zwan is better than Zwan would be in my top 3 right now if we were considering that an album by this band. Like, Zwan is fucking awesome, and I really can't wait for that box set to come out because holy shit. Matt Sweeney, David Pajo, Peace, LeCanton, and Jimmy. It's a perfect goddamn band. like it's a shame it didn't work out because that record is amazing. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, and then like with so then they put out Shiny and it didn't work. So they're like, all right, well, we'll go fucking hard Depeche Mode synth pop. That didn't work. So now he's doing Atum, which is working, unfortunately. But he's already promised another rock album. But I kind of worry about how rock it's gonna be if it's recorded to a grid. So we'll see how that works out. Anyway, I'm
sure
sorry.
We'll review it on this show.
Jesus Christ, we'll have to, because we already done the discography. We ain't going back. And so, all right, all right, that new record comes out. That's when we'll do the B-sides and we'll compare it to those. That'll be fun.
Fun.
That's not a fair
It will
comparison.
be, actually, Tim. You might like it. It's going to be awesome.
I guess we'll do our top 3.
All right.
My number 3, let's scroll way back here in the beginning. It's Gish. I just love the sound of this record. You got the triple hits of I Am One, Solo, Rhinoceros right in the beginning. Love Darcy's bass and Crush. Bury Me kicks ass. Suffer is a little boring, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Snail is fucking dreamy. Gish is the beginning of what the peak pumpkins sound like. Window Pane is my only low point on this album. It takes way too long to get interesting.
Yeah. And it's got the dun, it's got the drum part in it. Fuck that song for that reason.
Yeah. Daydream is my favorite Darcy singing song. So good. Love that it's the closer. Should have got that dog to play those strings, though. I'm going to throw that dog references in every video. Hidden track is what a hidden track should be. It's short, it's fun, it's memorable, motherfucking crazy. This is the Pumpkins, so close to that perfect pumpkin sound. It's a little rough, but I still highly fucking recommend it.
Yeah. It's a beautiful record. I do love it. It's my number 5. It's hard to pick a top 3 at this point, and I had to be odd. So mine will be different from y'all's, but it's going to be awesome. What you got, Tim? What's your number 3?
My number 3 is going to be Zeitgeist.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah. I was surprised at how much I liked the A-side. I do feel that the B-side really kind of dropped off a little bit.
It does. For real.
But the A-side was solid, and it did. It was, if we're considering the Smashing Pumpkins a guitar-paced rock band, which I don't know if we can, but I was always led to believe that they were.
Yeah, well, Billy's good at guitar. That's why he doesn't do it anymore, because he thinks he's too good at it. That kind of bullshit.
That's
dumb.
Awesome for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did. I thought that like the first half of this album is definitely worth hearing. Is the album a must hear? No, but you should, proceed with caution and know that you're getting a Smashing Pumpkins record.
Yeah.
But that B, for me, the weak point in the Smashing Pumpkins is Billy Corgan. So it's really hard to find other stuff. And I feel like this was the least Billy Corgan-y of the Billy Corgans. And that is a good thing for me.
Ironically, I would say this is the most Billy Corgan of all the Billy Corgan records, because he's actually kind of being just blunt and truthful, honestly, on a lot of these.
Well, another problem I have with him is I can't understand a thing he's saying. He'll take a one-word syllable and add 4 syllables to it, and it drives me nuts.
This was the beginning of a different vocal style for him, which has gotten more pristine and ornate as opposed to emotional and guttural. And I feel like it definitely hurts, for sure.
Well, it's my number 3. I think in this discography, if I was to go back to any of them, which I won't, this would be this would probably be the 3rd one I go back to.
That's beautiful, though, man.
All right. Will, what's your number 3?
I don't even remember at this point. Let me scroll up in my
notes. What do you
notes.
have left?
You've got Machina, Adore, and Mellon Collie.
It's Adore. It's just I know it's not a Pumpkins record. This is the best acoustic Billy Solar record, I think, in my opinion. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, when it came out, I was 16. I had just got my driver's license. Like, I got to drive around and listen to this record alone at night a lot, and that really helped my bonding with it. A lot of my friends were dying at this point. Like, I had a series of like 4 years where like I had a friend die every year. And for this record just made me process that grief in a way that, like, it honestly saved my life. Like, I don't know that I can say that I would still be alive had I not heard this record when I was 16, because it really had that big of a kind of impact on me just as a human. I mean, musically, it's kind of ornate. It's kind of Gershwin. It's got like a weird, like autumn nocturne, like 20s vibe mixed in with modern stylus for the 98 era. Like, it's just got this well done. I mean, on a lot of piano parts, like there's a lot of Gershwin vibe. I think like he learned how to play My Blue Heaven and was like, I'm going to make a record now. You know, like there's a lot of that happening. God, man, it hits me in a way. It made, like, the argument is that this record is called Adore because it's about the varying aspects of love in general, like different versions of that. To me, it's a different version of death. Every song has a reference to death. So when Mellon Collie was doing their giant tour time, he divorced his wife at the time. When he started recording this record, his mom died. Like, there's a lot of heartbreak and loss. And the fact that Jimmy wasn't there anymore, who was his musical soulmate, the fact that they decided they make a record anyway. And there's also the tie back to before Jimmy joined the band, when they were doing like the Cure-ish kind of like new wave music, gothish new wave music with a drum machine. Like, it all kind of feeds back into that cycle. And there's something really special about it to me. And also a lot of the electronics, to be fair, just to go back to our Rage Against the Machine review, a lot of what you think are synths are actually guitars that are just heavily affected. Like fucking Tear, the that's a guitar, man. That shit is not a synthesizer. Like, there's a lot of really cool guitar stuff going on. It's just more atmospheric and not necessarily visceral, I guess. But yeah, dude, I remember they were playing at the Grand Ole Opry acoustic for this record, and I drove 12 hours by myself as a teenager and stayed at a hotel by myself. And it was a very, very special personal moment for me. And seeing them play acoustic at the Grand Ole Opry House, that's never going to happen again. Never going to happen. That was a once in a lifetime thing, and I'm really happy I got to do it. I just think this record is beautiful, man. And I know we probably have to take a commercial break, but number 3, baby. Number 3 could be my number 1. I could.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, the top 5 could all be interchangeable. Honestly,
a lot of people hold that record in high regard. It just burned me when it came out.
It's okay, man. Different strokes, different folks, and that's why this is wonderful.
All right, we are going to cut to another commercial break, but it looks like we're going to fit it all into one part. So we'll see you next time.
I gotta get out of this closet. Maggie, in here, in the closet. Maggie, go get help. Maggie, come on, man. Do what I'd do if I were in your place.
Welcome back from that amazing commercial break. Let's wrap this up. We are in the top 3, top 2, 10.
Yeah, we're at
the kit and caboodle.
Yeah, we're at the good stuff now. Well,
Woodstock.
Tim is still in his Proceed with Caution. What album are we proceeding with caution with, Tim?
They're all Proceed with Caution.
Yeah, because they're all Billy Corgan albums. So, it is what it is. It is. So yeah, going into the top 2 though, I have my top 2 are both Butch Vig produced albums, and I think that is important to mention. Because I have seen, you know, going back to our relationship with Billy Corgan and the Smashing Pumpkins, my relationship is really just through news headlines at this point. And multiple times over the last year, Mr. Corgan has mentioned that he felt that Kurt Cobain was his main songwriting competition, and that once that competition disappeared, he didn't. I don't know how he worded it. I never click the articles. I just read the headlines. But I feel like maybe he lost his direction. But anyway, going into my number 2, I'm going to go with the one that has the most Kurt Cobain influence on it, and that's going to be Siamese Dream.
I already knew I didn't have to pull it down.
Yeah. Can I see? Yeah, let's look at that. Today is every Kurt Cobain generic, like...
I don't know if the Kurt comparisons are fair, Tim. I really don't.
Like poppy verse, heavy chorus with a one-note bend.
Yeah.
I don't like that song at all.
That's fair. I mean, Disarm's not my favorite either. I don't like the singles as much.
I think Disarm is perfectly fine. I used to be a little boy as well, and so I can really identify with that. And I do think the intro, Shara Brock, also known as YYZ, is actually like pretty cool. It's what I think of when I think of the Smashing Pumpkins. You look confused.
Well, the YYZ thing, it's an America song. I don't hear Rush at all. You're thinking Geek USA, maybe?
No, I'm thinking Rush, YYZ, or YYZ if you're Canadian.
Yeah, Canadians, you know.
Yeah, the intro is very YYZ.
Okay, the chorus, the da-na-na-na, that is straight up an America song. I can't name the song.
Okay,
I agree with you.
Yeah, no, just musically, I think Shara Brock is what I think of when I think of the Smashing Pumpkins, for better or worse. And for that reason alone, I don't think you have to hear it. But you can definitely listen to it and make up your own mind if you like it or not. And I do think that the Butch, like this is post Nevermind. Mm-hmm. And I think Butch Vig does a fine production job on this. This is right at his powers.
I think Butch Vig did a better job on Siamese Dream than he did Nirvana's Nevermind.
I agree. But I also think that has to do with Billy being a crazy person and Kurt being a cool, chill with it kind of person.
Yeah, I can see Butch doing a better job on this one, but I think that the songs and the albums are better on Nevermind. Like, that's just a better album.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Disagree.
Yeah, I know it's Nevermind. It's hard to argue, but like objectively,
yeah,
Nevermind's a better album.
Well, yeah.
And really, this is 93. This is
In Utero.
You know, this is closer to
a year later. A year later.
It's a fine album. When we were talking about our relationships, again, this was the album that was given to me in 9th grade to listen to. I did not like it then.
I do not like it now.
I don't mind it now. It's not one it's not one I'm ever gonna like go, oh, I want to really listen to Siamese Dream. But if it comes on, I'm not gonna hate it. Unless it's today. If that song comes on, I'm changing the station. I'm looking for Richard Marx.
So I'm going to follow behind you. It's my number 2 as well.
Hopefully you'll say more positive about it than fucking Tim did. Jesus Christ.
This is what I think of when I hear the Smashing. When I think of the Smashing Pumpkins, I think of this album, and I thought this was my number 1 album before we did this review.
Amen.
because it's a cohesive, simple thing. You can't fuck with this album. It's one of the most quintessential albums of the 90s. Cherub Rock is a fucking classic. Hipsters unite, come alive for the big fight to rock for you, but beware all the angels with their wings glued on, because deep down they are frightened and scared. Love the riffs and quiet. This album is Gish done to perfection. I will never get tired of Today, period. Hummer is just so dreamy and so good. I miss me. I miss everything I'll ever be, and on and on. Can't fuck with Rocket. Disarm is so melancholy and sad. Those fucking bells. Soma is my low
Timpani,
point.
man.
Mm-hmm. Soma's my low point, but it's still pretty damn good. Geek USA is a top song contender. Love the guitar work on this one. Mayonnaise, Silverfuck, Luna. There's not a single bad track on this record. It's so dreamy, yet it can rock when it wants to. The lyrical content is Pumpkin's perfection. The tones are perfect. This album could easily be number one for me. I fucking love Siamese Dream. Like, it is if you grew up in the 90s and you didn't have Siamese Dream, I feel sad for you.
Tim.
I grew up. I was alive in the 90s. I think I grew up more in the 80s.
You were on the edge a little bit above. I think. You had better taste, I would say, and when it happened.
Well,
thank you.
Saying that, like when you were talking about Adore, and you were like, I was 16, 98. I was thinking in my head, I was like, well, I was 18, so that I was kind of like, I think I missed the mark for it.
It was more a special moment for me because it was that year for me. I understand though.
Yeah, maybe Tim just barely missed the mark for Siamese Dream.
And going back and listening to this album today, again, first time in 30 years, literally 30 years.
Yeah.
I thought of Pearl Jam's 10 a lot.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's more verses than 10 for me, but
okay. Well, this and my number one both made me think of Pearl Jam's 10 a lot, and what that album was doing at the time, and how I felt about it at the time.
One day we're gonna do by the year, and
I can't wait. It's gonna be fun.
Siamese Dream, 1993 was, you're talking like In Utero.
Yeah.
Siamese Dream.
Yeah.
Like Nirvana had already
talking about Spin Doctors. Let it all come down. There's a lot.
Yeah,
Turn it
Siamese
upside
Dream, Spin Doctors.
93 has one of mine, Desert
Crows,
but it's not.
August and everything after came out that year too. I think. Yeah.
There's a lot of good shit.
The Crow.
I'm pretty sure this album would be in my top 5 for that year. I have to go back and look, but there's a lot of good shit.
Well, and I'm going to bring that up on my number 1 as well.
Oh, yes.
I forgot what your number 1 is.
It's going to be Gish, right?
It is, yeah.
It's Gish, yeah.
Oh, we got to do Collie. Quit's number 2.
What do you think it is?
Right.
I think it's Mellon Collie, personally.
I think
you're right, Tim. It is Mellon Collie. Mellon Collie is my number 2. I was 13 when this came out. I was the fucking fish in a barrel that was marketed towards, this was right up my goddamn alley. I was in 8th grade. I had just shot up to 6 foot as opposed to 5'3" due to puberty over the summer. It was an amazing fucking year for me, my friends. I had God, dude. All right, so I don't really have much to say about this record musically. This is all going to be biographical.
Well, can I argue why I think I was the target audience for this album?
Why?
Because I was born in 1979, making me 16 when this album came out.
Yeah. I feel like 1979 is a song that requires nostalgia that you wouldn't have had you been born in.
Which has always confused me since I was 16. It's clearly a nostalgia-grabbing song, but it almost misses the mark.
No, that's fair.
It's nostalgic for people who were 16 in 1979, or maybe 8 in 1979, but
I don't know. I mean, I feel like honestly, like when I hear 1979, I think 1997. So I don't know. You know, I think it's all based in, you know, the number is not as important as the feeling that you might feel thinking about your past, you know? I think that's
well, regardless, I think 1979 is a terrible song, and I cringe
really
every time I hear it. So
it's really unfortunate because there are way worse songs on this album. I
agree, but that drum loop is just.
I mean, all right, dude. All right, since we got the track list up here, I will say this. Bullet with Butterfly Wings is my least favorite Smashing Pumpkins song of all fucking time. I have reasons for this beyond the cultural stigma that I got from being tall in 8th grade and also having dark features where people thought I looked like Billy fucking Corgan. I know like literally. All right, so we'll get to the songs later. Let's get this biographical thing out of the way because it's fucking hilarious. This is a great story. In 8th grade, I started a punk band and we sounded like Green Day. With Richard Johnston and Chase Murphy. Richard played drums. I played guitar and sang, and Chase played bass very poorly. We played the talent show. Even we did an original song. To be fair, it wasn't a cover. We did play out the crowd for All the Cows by Foo Fighters because that's a great jam to play for people to walk away from. Great song. But we played this little shitty punk song that I originally wrote as fucking jocks, but we changed it to Cool Guys so we could play it at the talent show. That it's just a pop punk song. It was very Green Day influence. But so there's this guy named Clarence, is special ed kid. Anytime he saw me in the hallway, he would shout, "The world is a vampire," because he thought I looked like Billy Corgan. So that's just preface. So we walk onto the gym floor surrounded by our peers, and I hear everybody laugh, and I thought I did something wrong, and I was very self-conscious because I was in 8th grade, and that's what you do in 8th grade. And we played the song, and it was great, and it was fine. But I later found out that Clarence shouted, "The world is a vampire," the second I walked behind the microphone, and everybody laughed at that. And that's kind of my experience with this album. I love it so much. I'm ashamed of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's Jelly fucking Belly is one of the greatest guitar songs I've ever fucking heard. They like tried to rip that off with Tarantula. They couldn't pull it off. Like, it's that better. XYU is just, and then in the eyes of the jackal, I say, kaboom. Fucking heavy as shit, man. Way heavier than anything I've ever done after or previously. It's a fucking banger. Muzzle is beautiful. Porcelina takes a second, but once that fucking octave fucking it hits, it's just chef kiss to the fucking gods. Tales of a Scorched Earth is literally what it sounds like when you have every guitar pedal known to man and you plug it all in and turn them all in at once. That is literally how that song existed. That happened in the studio. They did that, and it's a magical, fucking crazy song. And then you follow it with Through the Eyes of Ruby, which is probably the best epic of both discs. And then you follow that with Stumbleline, which is like the sweetest little acoustic song. Like, there's so much to love about this record. It goes everywhere and nowhere all at the same time. It's fucking bananas. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't. It should be number 1, but it's not my number 2.
So I'm gonna follow right behind you because it is my number 1.
It's a beautiful choice.
And in my head, I always thought Siamese Dream was
in your mind or everyone. And in your mind or everyone.
I thought Mellon Collie had like, oh, it's a double album. I'm sure there's some, some fluff, some filler. But like, I took my kid to some jazz thing she had to go to, and I was like, well, I got to listen to the only Pumpkins in my car is Mellon Collie and Siamese Dream, and I might as well listen to Mellon Collie. And I kept skipping. I'm like, there's no fucking filler on this. This is the best. This is probably, off the top of my head and trying to think, I can't think of many other double albums But this is probably like the greatest double album ever to me.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the top of my head, I'd go with Tommy, Physical
No.
Graffiti.
No.
Dude, Physical Graffiti, really? I mean, Cashman's great.
That's a great album. In My Time of Dying?
Even the White Album. The White Album has...
Yeah, some filler.
It's got some filler. Like, it's not
a lot of... Well,
it has my least favorite Beatles song ever, of all time.
Which one is that?
Which one?
Obla Dee, Obla Da.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. No, I can feel you there. That's why I don't like Oceania, because I think they're actually ripping that song off a lot with the opening track. Point made.
I didn't. I sat down and I wrote my notes and I deleted it, and I wrote my notes and I deleted it. And I started out with like what makes a good concept album. You know, when you think of like Tommy and American Idiot and the Black Parade, like what makes a good concept. Well, then I was like, but this album, the concept of this album is completely like I don't give a shit about. But
well, to be fair, the only concept I've ever heard that Billy said this was about the day in the life of a teenager, from dawn to dusk, like then to twilight to starlight. Like it's a Friday, you start the day.
If that's the concept, then he fucking nailed it.
If that's the concept, it's beautiful. Otherwise, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And
this album should be heard by every 13, 14-year-old as a rite of fucking passage.
Yeah. If you're 15, that's perfect there too. When you turn 16, you have freedom. It doesn't work as well. But yeah.
This album holds up 100%. 28 songs, not including fucking Aeroplane.
Yes.
There's no duds. No matter how much the radio and MTV wore out Bullet or Tonight, I don't skip them when I put this out. I don't skip the instrumental, the opening track, because it just fucking sets it off. And then Tonight starts, and by then you're on a journey. You're transported back to being that 15-year-old. You know, there's so many XYU. Even the like goofy like Lily and We Only Come Out at Night are so fucking good.
Yeah, dude, Lily is the cutest song about stalking somebody I've ever heard. You know, it's just so cute.
Every Breath
You Take by Starlight is literally the most beautiful love song I've ever heard. Like that Dead Eyes, Are You Just Like Me? It's so good, man. Like my least favorite songs are actually the closers. I love James Shit, but Take Me Down is kind of boring.
And it's probably a low point.
Farewell and Good Night is a perfect closer, but if you take it out of the album context, I don't like it at all. But other than that, everything's perfect.
Where Boys Fear Each Other.
By the way, opens with the sound of the rocket launcher from Doom. The boom, boom, when it goes boom, like that is the sound of the rocket launcher from Doom. Like
I didn't know that.
Cultural context there. It's beautiful.
Well, I love this record. I think it's still. I still go
man.
back.
You got the reissue too. Well done. Did it come with the stickers where you can make your own?
Yeah, it's all on there.
Nice. Still cool.
Really cool book that like talks about every fucking album. He's got all the artwork.
Yeah, I really want to get that picture of the birds flying. I want to get that tattooed on me somewhere. Like, I know it's not cool to do, but I'm going to do it anyway.
You know, when I had it on CD back in the day, like you get this book.
Yeah.
Like,
you couldn't read it.
Song is just, it's got one image picture on it. Like, I don't know. This album it's special. I think it's one of the best albums of the 90s.
Yep.
And it, like, every kid should hear it. Even the singles are just phenomenal.
I'm just glad you ranked it above Siamese Dream, because I do feel that this is a better record than Siamese Dream.
I mean, because I was like, well, surely there's some duds in the back half. And I was like, well, fucking Muzzle. You got fucking By Starlight. It's just, there's no bad song.
Even Beautiful, man. Beautiful's a good song too.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah.
In the Arms of Sleep. It's just
that's a great song. I would say. Beautiful's a good song. In the Arms of Sleep, great song, I would say.
It is a phenomenal piece of music that just, and maybe it's nostalgia. I don't know. 1979, like it just encapsulates that feeling of being an adolescent at that time. Not in
I mean,
1979, but whatever year you were at that age.
yeah,
It captures it.
yeah. Nostalgia is a powerful thing, man. For real.
Drum loop be damned.
Yeah, for sure.
I could talk about this record. I could do a whole fucking video on just this album. It's that good.
All right, Tim. I'm gonna let you go next because mine's gonna be controversial.
Of course. I mean, hashtag first album bias.
I knew it was coming, dude. I knew it was coming. It's beautiful though.
You know, no, just listening back to it today, I think like the last 3 songs I could do without, but the rest of it was pretty good. Like, going back to the Kurt Cobain influence, this of course would have been pre Nevermind.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's less because people had heard Bleach, but it didn't take over the world.
No,
this sounds.
I would argue this is more of a Jane's Addiction inspired record than a Nirvana inspired record.
Well, trying to put it in context for me, this sounds like a late 80s, early 90s Chicago noise rock band.
Yeah.
Which they were, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do I think Helmet did it a little better in places? Yeah. This one reminded me a lot. I went back to Pearl Jam's 10. It also reminded me of Mother Love Bone a lot.
Yeah.
Like it really did feel like that late 80s, like nowhere grunge, but they're Facelift, Alice in Chains Facelift. I feel is like somewhere in here. Just that whole scene of like, we're aware of what's on the radio, which at the time was, glam rock. And they're aware of it and they're trying to do something different, but they're still like kind of playing by the rules and trying to like get a deal basically, and like be a band. I love the fact that this came out on Caroline.
Yeah.
I was a believer that late 80s, early 90s Caroline catalogs are pretty flawless.
For sure.
And so this obviously fits in there. We've talked about that magic moment in 91 where just every good album you've ever heard came out in like a 3-month span.
Yeah.
And this beats it by a little bit.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. I don't think it's as good as some of the albums that came out in that magical period. In fact, talking about going by years and I don't know if this would be in my top 20 for 1991.
Okay. Yeah, 91's a little tougher than 93. I don't know if Gish.
But I mean, this is somewhere on the list for 91.
Yeah,
but I can easily come up with 20, maybe even 30 albums that were better. So it's not like the greatest thing ever, but it's decent. And, especially for what it is, it's a first album. It's Butch Vig pre Nevermind. There's a lot to it to enjoy. And I think, as somebody who is still not a fan of Smashing Pumpkins, we've done a couple discographies where my attitude and opinions have changed. And I was hopeful that this would be one as well. Unfortunately, it did not. But I feel like, I've heard them. I feel like I understand this band a little bit better and I can appreciate them more. As opposed to just pure hatred. But yeah, I think if like Gish comes up, I'm going to be fine with it. I'm not going to mind it.
Yeah, man. Like, I feel that way. Like, it's not my favorite record. I thought that for the time it came out, it was a special record because it did kind of harken back to neo-psych in a way that a lot of people didn't at that point. But that's also just a vibe thing.
But I mean, they kind of were in the underground. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, I think this was the greatest selling indie record of 91 as far as indie records go. Yeah. Because it was in Caroline, so it was technically an indie record. I think it was the greatest selling indie record.
But I mean, I think technically Nevermind's an indie record too.
No,
right?
it's not. It's not an indie record. Nevermind.
I mean, it's on Sub Pop.
But also came out in 92.
No, Nevermind's on DGG on.
Well, the original press is on both. They had a deal. It was still technically an independent.
Yeah, vinyl.
We're hitting semantics at that point, really.
Well, I mean, semantics, that's what we're here for. Give me one more drink and we'll talk semantics all night long, baby.
I mean, dude, I could talk with you all night long anyway, Tim, because I love you and you're a wonderful person. Your perspective, like just looking at your rank. By the way, Atum wasn't your number. Oh, okay. I'm missing it. Okay, I'm.
Yeah, no, I felt
that was
like
your
it
last
had
rank. I was
something
like, oh my god, that was my last rank, not Tim's. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I felt that one had something more to offer than the last couple.
That's tomato at that point. I also understand.
And I think you're about to like prove me wrong on my number 11. But
I don't know if I'm going to prove you wrong because that is purely a taste choice at this point. Like, you're right. The Flood influence on this record is insane. Like, it does. I can see the U2 Octung Baby kind of references and Zoo TV happening. There's a lot of production work on there that is Flood based that I understand and I can't argue. But Machina's my number one, motherfucker.
Well, and so this is purely a nostalgia thing because of where you were at in your life in the year 2000.
No, because to be fair, I think Adore would be number one at that point for real, or Mellon Collie would be number one at that point if I'm going purely by nostalgia. Going back and listening to this record, like, to be fair, I never stopped listening to this record. I love this record, but like, there's so many things going on sonically that are just like, it still sounds fresh, even though we're in 2023 and this came out in 2000. Like, there's a lot of cool shit happening. Like the weird kind of envelope compression filter thing that's going on throughout the Imploding Voice, where it's like closing in and opening up and close. Like, it's fucking wild, man. I still haven't heard anything like that in my ears. And granted, that might be because I have shitty ears or haven't listened to better music. But to me, that sounds so unique and perfect. Stand Inside Your Love is like literally the most tragic and beautiful love rock song I've ever heard. And part of the reason why I love this band is because they are a love rock band more so than a grunge band. Like, they've got all of their rock songs are still about love, even if it's not about romantic love necessarily. Like, even Cherub Rock, it's about loving rock music in the face of Pavement. Like, it's still a love song. It's just a love song in terms of rock and roll. He's loving rock and roll. Heavy Metal Machine is still a love song, even if it's about dying for rock and roll. Like, there's a sense of love and adoration and romanticism that is a throw line throughout the entire discography for me. And I would say Stand Inside Your Love, Wound. Oh my God, there's just so many good songs. Everlasting Gaze, the first time I heard that shit, I was like, cyber metal's cool. Like, there's this weird kind of vibe to it that it's very futuristic, but it's still got a like straight up breakdown in it. Like, da 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 da. It's got a breakdown in it. It's amazing.
First time I heard it, I was like, holy shit, the Pumpkins are good again.
Yeah, dude, it's just fucking great. And I mean, you watch the video and you're like, you get to see Melissa Aftermar break her bass against an amp. You're already winning, man. You see Melissa Aftermar playing bass. It's awesome. I wish she was. That's another weird thing. She didn't play on the record, but it sounds like they were preparing for her to play live with them, because a lot of the bass, especially Everlasting Gaze, like there's just a lot of bass lines that just seem like they were written by Melissa. It's crazy. Jesus. Where can we go? I will say the story of Glass is a rock star who changed the world, and he had a band called the Machines of God. Like, it's very after the fact. Like, he wrote these songs and was like, okay, this is too cheesy. I've got to find some kind of way to make this better. And he didn't with the concept. The concept is stupid. And that totally blows out of the water with Atum later, but you know, that's 20 years. So I will say there's a lot of schizophrenia going on. Like with Glass and the Ghost Children, there is the break in between part 1 and part 2, basically, where it's a piano part, but there's a recording from a microcassette recorder or something, where Billy's talking to a therapist about how he thinks the voices of God is the voice that's talking to him in his brain. And he knows it's crazy, but it's crazy. And I know that's supposed to be a part of the story, but honestly, it sounds like he's actually a schizophrenic. And I think he should be more open about that, because that's a very common thing these days. It's sad. But anyway, the record's fucking beautiful. Wound is amazing. I even like the goth songs. Blue Skies Bring Tears is amazing. And dude, the ending with Age of Innocence is like one of the most uplifting, and like it just soars. It picks you up, just lets you go, man. It's amazing. It's a really good closer. It's the best closer they ever had. And if that was the last song they ever wrote, I would have been okay with that. My major disappointment with this record is the fact that they didn't stop after this record. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Zeitgeist, I love Zeitgeist. I love Oceania even. But this would have been a good ending. You know, it would have been a fine ending for this band. They didn't have to do everything else after the fact. If they were allowed to do Machina II together as one double album, that would even be even better. But it's just, there's so much after this that I didn't like. But there's so much about this that I do. And it's my number one because, yeah, I was a senior in high school when it came out. This was my stepping away from things. And when 9/11 happened shortly after this album came out, it was it kind of fit still, because there's a lot going on here that is also social at the same time. But anyway, whatever. I'm going to shut the fuck up because it's late. I love this record. It's my number one.
Yeah, so we all have different number ones.
Mm-hmm.
We all have different number 12s.
Yeah, it's a pretty varied fucking ranking, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, the only real oddballs is My Door down here, Tim's
Yeah.
Mellon Collie down here,
Yeah.
Tim's Machina down here.
Yeah.
Yours
But
is pretty...
Tim's also got Zeitgeist at number 3, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, he's got Zeitgeist up there.
Yeah, the only match we have is
all right, right?
The only match is Tim and Jason at number 2 with Siamese Dream. That's the only match that happens. Oh, wait.
Well, we both put this at number 10.
We both put that at number 10.
Who cares about that album?
But unlike other, YouTube channels that rank discographies, I did pretty good. I showed up. I had opinions, right?
No, Tim. I'm not going to argue with you about anything you said. I just want better clarification sometimes, but that's because I love you and I want to understand how your brain works. That's the only reason.
Well, get in line.
Well, I've been in line for a while, friend. So
come on in. It's your turn. Let's go.
I highly disagree with Mellon Collie at number 8, but that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, I obviously highly disagree with Machina at number 11, but that's okay too, because I totally understand your points. It's fair.
The first time I heard Mellon Collie,
this band's so subjective, man.
It started with the piano shit, and I'm like, because I was like 15, I'm like, oh, this is okay. What is this crap? Blah blah blah. And then tonight started, and I was like, holy shit! And you can ask Cowboy this. I said, Cowboy, this is gonna be a fucking single. This song is too good not to be a fucking single. And I remember the day we were at my grandparents' house and we were watching fucking MTV. Me and Cowboy were sitting there, and they're like, "Oh, BuzzFeed, premiere video musical, New video by the Smashing Pumpkins. It was fucking Tonight. I was like, I told you, motherfucker. Too good of a song.
Also, I mean, I'm just going to point this out. The video is directed by the Ferris siblings, and it also stars Tom Kenny and Jill Talley from the husband and wife duo from Mr. Show, and that's always a fun thing to have in your video, for sure.
I always like it when bands made music videos that tied into the artwork of the
album. Agreed.
That's always cool.
Unfortunately, the only video for Machina that tied into it was the Crying Tree of Mercury, which is the worst song on the record. So,
I never saw
and
that.
Tom and Jill are still together.
Yeah,
it's great.
By 2000, I wasn't watching.
Gotta love the Mr. Show crew, the best.
Oh yeah.
So, with that, this has been our rant and rank of the Smashing Pumpkins. Leave us your rankings down below in the comments. Let us know. Well, just let us know anything. You can tell us. You tell everyone. Leave a comment down below.
Are you my daddy?
If you like Tim's new glasses.
Yeah, they're
like
nice.
and subscribe. We really appreciate it.
Literally got them right before we started this.
Check out our socials. Hit us up on Discord, Facebook, MySpace. And as always, be safe.
AOL Messenger.
Yeah, good decisions. Like staying off AOL.
SP Chat, AOL.com. What's up?
I can't take it anymore. I've got to get out of this closet. I give up. I'll do chores. Huh? Dear Bart, the family has gone out for frosty chocolate milkshakes. Sorry we couldn't find you. Love, Dad.